Okay, awesome. What is up, guys? Coach Q here, back at it again. So, I am a fitness coach, and I am a mindset coach and a lifestyle coach for Integrative Mindfulness Center. So, yes, guys, and we got Dr. Fonseca on the other phone. How are you doing, Dr. Fonseca?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. It's always wonderful and good to have our discussions, Kerwin, and I heard everybody's enjoying. I got a lot of emails, some
Mhm,
questions about how this works.
mhm.
So we are going and dealing with a lot of COVID-19 pandemic. I'm hoping to do some work with you regarding the COVID-19 in future. So let's start our discussion today.
All right, sounds great, Dr. Fonseca. So, Dr. Fonseca, for starters, why should we start to become more mindful? What is your thought process about that?
I think this is something very important. I remember when you and me discuss about our working programs, and me and you we working with the same organization. You decide your own programs. This is one of the questions you ask me commonly.
Mhm.
I would like to take this very simply. We all live in a very unstable physical, psychological, social, and spiritual life. So life has to be balanced
Mhm.
physically, psychologically, socially, and spiritually, right? And I know you take the big part of physical and social life with your trainings. You help people to get into more physical and social improvement.
Exactly.
So mindfulness recognized and introduced to centuries back. It has amazing ability to regulate our emotional health and decrease our stress level and help to deal with our anxiety and depression. And also it does a big job on help us to focus our attention
Exactly.
as well as our thoughts without judging. So someone start becoming mindful, becoming integrate, collaborate mindful life exactly help to maintain and balance healthy physical, psychological, social and spiritual life. And it is automatically becoming a very more present in our life and build up the relationship with others and society. So this is the basically reason I find people need to be mindful.
Mhm. Exactly, Dr. Fonseca. I 100% agree into that. It's because, yes, like as I have seen most of my clients started their fitness journey and their health journey. It's because of stress. It's because of depression. It's because of anxiety. It's because they don't like what they're seeing in the mirror, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one thing too that we start practicing when we start exercising is mindfulness, becoming more mindful on what you're eating every single time, becoming more mindful on exercising, mind and muscle connections, and becoming more aware of our surrounding, of our environment. It's because most of the time, Dr. Fonseca, what I have seen is when I have a client who's stress eating, one of the main reason is they are in an unpleasant environment, right?
Of course. No, I think you build up a very nice discussion about mind, body, muscle connections. I'm
Mhm.
sure with your work, you see a lot of time people losing the connection between mind and body. People losing that interactive connection. People struggling to connect body and mind, especially the muscle system and mind.
Exactly.
And when we start mindfulness and integrating mindfulness into human body with day-to-day life and muscle relationship, the healthy relationship between you and your body and muscles, people experience the muscular outcome is very
Exactly.
positive and very interactive, right? That's something I think you experience a lot.
Yes, exactly. And then once they start to build that mind and muscle connection, Dr. Fonseca, what's happening to them is now they're becoming more confident with their body. Now they are finally getting that connection between their mind and their body. They are finally becoming more one again rather than separate, right?
Of course, I'm having a good thought about your discussion. I would like to bring it back.
Mhm,
Few decade back, I think this is 15, 20 years back, one of the leading hospital in Massachusetts, General Hospital, they
mhm,
done a lot of research with John Kabat-Zinn,
mhm.
who introduced Eastern mindfulness. One of the main figure who introduced Eastern mindfulness to Western society. Um, does a lot of research how meditation help people to um produce various brain neurological support,
Exactly.
and the technique he introduced called mindfulness-based stress reduction.
Exactly, yes.
He discussed how can you reduce the
Mhm,
stress from your body and your mind and contribute a strong, healthy body system.
mhm.
So, and many people have taken this program under Dr. Singh, Dr. John Kabat, Massachusetts Hospital, experienced a lot changes and improvement their physical and mental life.
Yes, exactly, Dr. Fonseca. And I actually have done my research and have read the same thing as well. When when they start to talk about mental illnesses, right, and stresses, some of the people start to jump into pills, into pills, into medicine as soon as possible without knowing how to control their own emotion, their own stresses level, like without knowing how to become mindful first. So that is actually something that I definitely agree that when you are battling with stresses, anxiety, depression, I really believe that mindfulness is the first step.
Of course, of course.
Mhm,
I know you do a lot of personal training tasks with the population,
mhm,
with most of the adult. Um, if this adult help themselves to mindful with the movement of exercising, with the physical task, the physical achievement they are doing, that we call the present moment, when they doing this exercise with you,
mhm.
they could more connect with the present moment by not judging, and becoming more aware and happy about the mind body goals they are making, without comparing the other person's body, without comparing someone with big muscles and big
Exactly.
body achievement, right? I
Mhm.
think that's one of the challenge I'm sure you experience with your client population, right? You want to little
Exactly.
bit talk about it, maybe?
Definitely, Dr. Fonseca. I completely remember about this topic. It's because, lots of insecurities of people when they're going into the gym. It's because they are always comparing themselves from other people. And
Mm-hmm.
and now when they started to exercise and when they start to become more mindful and get to know themselves, they start to realize that, hey, I am doing this for myself. I am not doing this to compete with anybody else. I'm doing this for myself to become more better, stronger and healthier. And yes, Dr. Fonseca, what I have seen for my clients who've started to exercise is their confidence levels start to go up. They started to think more better. What
Yeah,
else?
I think you're exactly bringing the idea of insightful reading.
Yes.
So every individual have to have their individual insightful reading. The
Mhm,
body belongs to me. The muscular size that I can achieve is
mhm,
not the muscular size that Arnold Schwarzenegger or any other bodybuilder can achieve. So having that right insightful observation, having that right insightful thoughts
mhm.
within the physical work, very much helping people to build up their right body. I'm sure when you use people skills of finding what the right body for me, you could use the mindfulness to see themselves insightfully, and realize and find out what my body, where I belongs to, and how can I be accept the body image that I can build up without being judgment, right? And and I know nowadays there's a lot of marketing and product and hormones and steroids and anabolic steroids. There's many things that popping up in field, but I think mindfulness is a very strong tool to read our individual insight.
Exactly, Dr. Fonseca. I 100% agree with you towards that kind of stuff. It's because in Laban Fitness as well, Dr. Fonseca, we are running a big competition of natural athletes, of natural bodybuilders, which this bodybuilder have achieved a high level body of composition doing it naturally. That when you start comparing this person to a person who's using steroids, you are gonna see a very minimal difference, Dr. Fonseca, which is amazes me. And this and one thing that I have seen when I start to talk to their to these athletes is same thing, Dr. Fonseca. They have a good visualization of the person that they wanted to be. So in order for that to happen, they will need to become mindful on what they're doing every single time, on what they are eating, on what exercises they're doing in order for them to grow the muscle that they wanted to grow, in order for them to compete in a pro on the professional level.
People have this wrong realization. People always have a natural belief that we are our thoughts. So people try to see themselves as their thought. So when people get into improving their body and especially their muscles or any part of their body, they already get into that thinking with a certain kind of thoughts. So people misunderstand, they think and realize that they are basically their thoughts. I think this is one of the things you struggle with helping people with improving their body. So mindfulness helps people to realize you are not your thoughts.
No.
These are just thoughts that you have randomly. It
Mm-hmm.
might be realistic, it might not be realistic. They are just a thought. They pass in your psychological, your mental phenomena, and they are just a story and interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you start seeing it is the way it is, your thought, you will find the reality from irrationality. So this is a very important thing when you work with people improving their body and their muscles and their physical health, right? Because
Yes.
I'm sure people challenge you a lot. They think that they are their thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
And
that's
no
right.
matter how much you try to help them to understand you and your thoughts are different, people
Mhm.
think it is who they are.
Yeah. Oh my God. Exactly, Doctor. Exactly, Doctor Fonseca. This is why I really love meditation. It's because when you started to meditate, you are gonna see that you are not your thoughts. You are gonna see that your thoughts are just in there and passing by. But when you don't have a very good like a very good grab into this kind of stuff, like what is happening now, every thought that you're having is you are having some different reactivity, so you are reacting to your thoughts. So what is happening, like what you said, Dr. Fonseca, is some people is that like they're thinking that they are their thoughts. It's because it's constantly in there when, right? And
I
when you
think
re-
very important point you brought it out about I like meditating. It's a wonderful insight. Meditation isn't belong to any religious or hypothetical practice. There are meditation go through with the spirituality and religion. The meditation we're talking about is a mindfulness meditation. Even it generated and came through the old Buddhist school, but this is very lifestyle. One of the important things, Karan, I think we all need to help our clients to understand, our population to understand and realize that every meditations are not mindful meditation, right?
exactly.
So you could still do many meditations, but
Mhm.
you won't maintain the mindful state.
Mhm.
Uh, but sometimes the activities are not really meditative. The activities are not really highly meditative.
Mhm.
They are mindful. Let
Mhm.
me give an example. Let's say um, I hope things gonna be fine and COVID-19 will disappear. Let's say
Yeah.
one day you decide to bring all your clients
Mhm.
in front of close to the Red River,
Yeah.
and you like to do some physical work with them by engaging with the Red River. the grasses and the river sound. So you're
Mhm.
doing a physical improve work with your client, but um, your work is more mindful. But it is not meditative, but
Mhm.
how they're doing that work is mindful.
Very mindful.
They will exactly get more benefit or exactly same benefit they are getting from mindfulness meditation by doing certain mindfulness activities, Karun.
Yes, sir. Yes,
This is a
sir.
message we need. This is a message we need to bring our population because people don't have to go to ashram or a bush or somewhere and get meditatively
Mhm.
posture,
Exactly.
right? Get meditatively posture and with certain beats and the objects. So people don't have to have those things to become mindful,
Yes,
right? They
that's
could still meditate with their physical bodybuilding exercises. They could
right.
still do their activities with that certain tasks they're doing.
That is right. That's right, Dr. Fonseca. Dr. Fonseca, I have a question for you. What do you think is the most basic exercises that we can do right now and we can implement in order for us to become more mindful?
Yeah, I think the last part of our discussion today, I would like to introduce a couple of, and in one of our meetings, you and me, we're going to do this little bit depthly, little bit more descriptively. Yes, breathing, starting from breathing is always very important. We will bring breathing pattern into mindfulness. People can eat mindfully by engaging with the food. People can exercise, physically exercise, and at the same time they could improve it by becoming simply engaging mindfully, non-judgmental, more acceptable, more engaging with the present moment, and even a walk would be an exercise you could take it mindfully, starting from that basic level. You could bring yourself to a mindfulness meditation, mindfulness relaxation. There are some of yoga questions you could do through mindfulness. You could do as mindfulness exercises. People can take the painting and drawing kind of hobbies in mindfully. That would be a mindfulness exercise. Anything we could do mindfulness by engaging with the present moment and accepting the way it is and non-judgmental
Yes.
and following those simple,
Mhm.
more mindfully. Anything can be mindful.
Definitely, definitely, Dr. Fonseca. So yes, and exactly like that is one thing too that I'm starting to find out is, you know, all of us have some certain judgment on everything that's happening. It could be that we don't like what's happening in like inside our world, right? It could be like I don't like what's happening into my job. It could be like I don't like what's happening into my body. So that constant judgment is creating more stress. So when we become more mindful and then we start to take out that judgment, like what is
Mm-hmm.
happening is we're starting to see the way it is.
Being aware of your judgment, mindfully being aware of your judgment and accepting judgment the way it is, then helping judgment not to be judging. I think this is a kind of exercise we can try one day, how to become not to judgment. Because today we are almost running out of our time. But the next time we will talk about very practical things, right? And I think we could easily, simply bring ourselves to that level of mindfulness. Yes, judgment is difficult and unavoidable, but we are not late to train our head, our mind.
Or mind.
Mind can be trained and trainable anytime during your life. It's trainable anytime.
Definitely. It's always possible. It's always possible, and there is nothing is impossible, guys. So, yes, that is me and Dr. Fonseca. We are gonna help you how to train your minds. And yes, as soon as possible, guys, there is gonna be some couple exercises that's gonna help you in order for you to become the best version of yourself. So, yes, guys, I'm very sorry. We're running out of time.
And we both can say metta, loving and kindness, right? Loving and kindness,
Meta loving
metta. May
kindness.
you be free, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be stay away from all the dangers from COVID-19.